We mentioned Billie Holiday earlier, and it's such a unique song, and one that, Emily, as I understand it anyway, the idea of doing something that people might, somewhere down the line, see as some sort of homage or tribute to the great Billie Holiday was not ever really part of this, right? That the sort of BILLIE thing just sort of came about at one point?
Yeah, it was, you know, it was la 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 la.
Placeholder. Yeah.
And then there was a poster of her in this room that we were practicing in, and I was just playing it, and the letters fit.
It's a subconscious homage.
Yeah. It is, though. I mean, that it wasn't like, oh, I can't do that. You know, it was like,
right.
Oh, nice little added bonus that she's the best.
Can you talk me a bit about how the song came together? Because the sort of, you're going to call it the My Guy portion of the song, was that the core of it? Is that how it began?
That's actually the last addition to it. I wrote the guitar part maybe like a year before, and then the la la la's, and then Teresa learned the guitar part, and she opened up a songbook and found the song and put that on also. So it's kind of two separate ideas put together.
Then came up with that little chord change for the second part of the My Guy part. I'm blanking right now. Anyways.
the qualities that we talked about earlier that people have latched onto it, where you can call it ethereal or hazy or dreamy or whatever, that married with a song that is at least partially a cover is what led some people, one outlet in particular, and then I think others, to sort of glom onto the Cat Power comparison. Is that something that
because of the covers record or something?
I think because she's, at this point, Sean is very associated with doing covers, at least in the last couple of years, that I've seen, and I think it began with the Pitchfork write-up, but I think then it continued after that. People jumped on
Well, we
it.
never do. I mean, I don't think we ever think about anything but in pleasing and making sure that we all are on the same page with each other is what we do anything for, and that never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
And I was kind of surprised by the comparison, but I guess it's pretty and...
Right. Any of the other ones that you guys get, the Cocteau Twins comparison, is that on the mark at all as far as...
It's cool. I had never heard Cocteau Twins until...
That's happened so much, when you see bands get these...
Yeah.
Oh, that's the reference point, and then you mention it, and they're like, sure, I think they're great, and but I guess it, like you were saying, some of that really happens so subconsciously that you never know where it's coming from. Did you guys all? Well, you knew each other pretty early on. Did you have similar inspirations?
I think in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, our inspirations morphed into similar things after being such close friends for years, As far as where we come from in our early years, I think there's differences there. But both were musical in their own way.
Yeah, our parents are still very
artistic.
open, artistic, cool.
They grew up in
hippies.
Yeah.
And did
My parents weren't hippies.
Not really,
Just very quickly, how did you sort of end up meeting them in LA?
I met her at a coffee shop, and that was we had a special, cute little interaction. We just saw each other and we're like, oh, hi, you're cool.
It was like a love at
I was
first
like
sight
5 years
moment.
old child, and we basically took a liking to each other and exchanged phone numbers, and we kind of started seeing each other around out.
I bummed a
Dance
cigarette
clubs.
and I didn't even really want it. I just wanted to talk.
I love the fact that girls could say that, because if two guys said that, they'd be like, "Oh, okay."
I don't even remember.
So, and then getting back to a couple specific songs, I think maybe my favorite Exclusive Corpse song is Beatles, and I think I think so, actually.
That's awesome.
Because I like
rare.
I like the fact that it's like 2 or 3 songs in one. I just, that sort of stop-start thing. And I know one of you have said before, that you don't necessarily like traditional song structures, verse, chorus kind of approach. Can you quickly say anything about how that particular song came together and how it's at least got two distinct songs within it?
That's another one of those those jammers just kind of hanging out in the garage when we were practicing, and
It was actually
it just was
That
happening.
was when we were a three-piece.
yeah. That's Teresa.
Oh, that's
It
right.
was
No,
Teresa on the drums, and Jen playing bass and me playing guitar. The first beginning part for a long time was just a jam. It
Yeah,
wasn't
no
Teresa
vocal.
singing on the, and then there was just the singing in the middle of the song, and then another jam. And then it kind of morphed in Shannon. When Shannon came in, it morphed again. I think, I'm not opposed to verse, chorus, verse
Yeah.
structure, but I think just the way that we flow into things, those rules don't exist in our heads. So it's like, oh, right here, just it would be nice to relax for a second. And then,
Yeah.
it's just,
then
it's
think
really
about
about feeling
I think
where
it,
it needs
no
to go.
limitations.
Is it?
yeah, as an artist, I think it's really important, probably in whatever field artistically or one is in. It's important to come from a place of discarding those formulas that most people go by, and at least at first, so that you can get to a place where you're doing your own thing. And eventually through that, I mean, I think a person can discover so much about themselves and what they have to express. And then after that, you can get into either going more out there or taking it in a little bit, or taking it in and going out again. Just like, I think it gives versatility. And if you abandon those preconceived ideas for at least your formative years or something.
What's the live set consist? Is it pretty much all the EP songs and other stuff at the moment?
There's other stuff. We're itching to play a lot of the stuff that on our
record.
album that's coming out, and we are playing some of it. And but it's nice not to abandon those songs either, because we haven't played them around that much. We've only done one tour with them.
I know there's this War Child compilation coming up, and you guys did Ashes to Ashes, the Bowie song for that. Is that that's not the live show yet? Or will it be at some point, do you think?
Maybe.
Sure.
Yeah. We just have to relearn.
It was just like basically we haven't had a chance to. It was like a session for all of us. We all kind of went in there separately and recorded and did our bits. So we haven't actually even gotten a chance.
How did
to play it
that?
live.
Did you guys choose that song? Yeah. They pretty much said, "What do you want?"
No,
It's
they
not
said
taken?
no.
Yeah, it was
We were like,
taken.
please. And then the person who was going to do it ended up not doing it, so we got it.
Noisevox.